What the sucks? Okay, what? Oh. Did my stuff lock out? I didn't glitch out. Yeah, it did glitch out. Yeah, I did glitch out. Hello. Hello, it did glitch out so bad. It should work now. Oh no, it should work now. Oh.
First of all, he was a huge idiot. He never even found out that I was faking everything. And secondly, he had the nerves to mock me for being a pushover. Look at yourself, he laughed one day. Running around all day as everyone walks all over you. You try too hard. Sometimes it feels like you're a servant, not a manager. Ugh. If this jerk had paid attention to his work, he would have known that I was not even the manager. He was clearly slacking off in his duties. Wisely shut around him. I couldn't waste time dealing with someone like him. Though one day, I got a notice that the higher-ups would be visiting to inspect the workings in the new branch. going to throw it away. Before the day of the visit of the higher-ups, I announced that I would throw a party for everyone at the office to reward them for their hard work. Of course, I invited the boss, too. Everyone celebrated wildly after work hours. So much so, that they were too wasted to even open their eyes the next day. So when the higher-ups arrived at the office, the sight that they were greeted with was not very pleasant. The boss couldn't even form a coherent sentence in front of them, and the whole office was a mess. I was the only one who was in the right senses and could greet them properly. I had prepared for this in advance. A very eloquent speech to impress them. All my work as a manager proved to be useful after all, and they admired the way I had tackled everything. The boss had been slacking off, as I had suspected. He was fired, obviously, and I was chosen to officially replace him as the CEO of the new branch. Who would have thought that an abandoned 15-year-old like me would be the CEO of a major?
大家知道这样子的那个吗？就是有这样的 race。这是谁写的？昨天写的。
Multinational by using some fake certificates and talent. I met some older girls through dating apps and hung out with them to keep up the pretense of being an adult. It was easy enough to attract those girls with my money and position, but I was not interested in anything more than just being seen with them. That was enough to make people suspicious of me. But there was one more thing. I actually liked someone at my office. Her name was Lana, and she was in her 20s. I couldn't approach her because I didn't want to lie to someone I genuinely liked. So I was content with keeping my feelings to myself and admiring her from afar. I had a hunch that she reciprocated my feelings, but she had tried to confront me many times. But I always made an excuse and ignored her. I couldn't do anything until I was legally an adult. But
这个稍微有一个勾啊 ，other than that it's perfect， 有个小小勾。左边你好霸气啊，写的好大，可以这样，可以这样，这两个写的很好。周经理在吗？在吗？要写一下吗？
老师，
嗯，
我问你看，
突然找了一个小泥在你的里边，伟丁给我看一下。啊，伟丁写的好，perfect。周经理你写吗？你看吗？你不够，不够哦。
it turned out that I was not the only one with secrets. Lana had secrets of her own. No, she wasn't hiding her real age or something like that. Her secret was even weirder than mine. One day, I was working late at the office to complete my pending when I heard some strange noises coming from the ceiling. Found myself. So, it's towards the ceiling. I climbed the stairs and almost screamed out loud to find Lana in front of me. Looking like she was getting ready to sleep. The whole structure was like a small room, and there were some clothes and other necessary things scattered around. Lana's eyes widened when she saw me. Asher, I can explain, she quickly said, advancing towards me. But I held up a hand to stop her. Just how long had she been living like this? Was she broke and homeless? Obviously, any sane person wouldn't live like this otherwise. But more importantly, why was she living directly above my cabin?
那个大吗？僵尸走开了吗？
那是意思是 scared 吗？
嗯。数点。
Even secretly spying on me this whole time? I had talked to my friend on the phone numerous times, and I'd also brought up the topic of fake certificates in my conversation with him. What if Lana heard all that? What if she knew my secrets? If Lana knew everything, then I was completely done for.
太热对吧？这就是。
We are a place where creative dreamers go to learn their craft. my life was at least a little normal. And then, my mother called me. Hi, my name's Mike. Can you help me increase my social media following too? Wow, there was a limit to shamelessness. And this girl clearly didn't know that. But didn't you say that everyone laughs at TikTokers? Do you want to become a laughing stock? I asked with a smile. No, I mean, that was not what I meant back then. You must have misinterpreted my words, she fumbled. She should have at least tried to come up with a better excuse.
Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm 30 years old. Before I tell you my story, what are you talking about? I asked in a shaky voice. Skylar gave me a grim look and handed over some photos. Those were photos of Amelia hanging out with some guy, and they were clearly involved with each other romantically. About revenge or getting back at her. I found out from my students that she'd asked that guy to move into her house. Saw me, her face went, the guy asked her in shock. Amelia started panicking. No, wait, yeah, but that's about to change. I cut her off, giving her the divorce papers. Please sign those and then leave my house. His house? Amelia, you said you were wealthy and you owned this house, her boyfriend exclaimed. I chuckled. Yeah, she owns it. In her dreams. Amelia clenched her fist and started yelling at me for I don't know what. Because I was too busy ignoring her. Her boyfriend asked her to return everything he'd given. Near to this point and left. Good thing he came to here.
blow 的意思，对吗？比如说我吹了一口气 a blow。I made a blow， 或者是
就是一直帮你吹，就像你快一点那样子。
对，这也可以，那个是叫你说是那个推吧，那个是推速的推。OK， 就是同音字，但是不同。这个吹还可以，比如说是。
His senses soon. And as for Amelia, first she yelled, then she got tired and started threatening me. And in the end, she started begging. I gave her a pen. Sign those papers.
吹口风琴。
New Advil dual action with acetaminophen. Fights pain.
这谁写的？这个国人写的非常棒。老师，你刚刚就要讲到这个了，对吧？吹还可以说吹牛。吹牛是大家知道吹牛是什么意思吗？是 blow a cow 吗 ？blow a cow 吗 ？No。Can you blow a cow? No。
吹牛。
It depends, right? If it's a cow balloon, you can blow it, right?
Yes.
吹牛一般是指那个blast 是吗？你们这个吹牛英文怎么说啊？老师向你们请教一下。吹牛英文是什么？吹牛的英文是什么？大家知道吗
？Show off。
什么
？Show off。
show off。
因为他在吹牛嘛，知道我这个好厉害，他就是 show off 嘛。他是吹牛，在我们面前的吹牛，他做什么嘛。这样我们就是 show off。
Okay. It's kind of like a show off, or kind of like exaggerate something, or like make up something like you didn't do.
Yeah.
就是吹牛，可能这件事情并不是真的，但是你就是 好像弄得像真的一样。
嗯
就是 it can be an exact.
2 ways. Advil Tar. Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm 30. I didn't judge her character properly, and like a fool in love, I just wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. The real complications started after our marriage. Julia often argued with me for money. She was a compulsive shopper and often wasted money on things that we didn't even need. At one point, I started believing that all she cared about was wealth and luxury, and, consequently, that meant she married me for my money. But at the same time, I didn't want to ruin our relationship and make things hard for our daughter, Harper. Harper was really young at the time, and if Julia and I kept arguing, it would have impacted her. That's why I decided to back off and stay quiet. I was pretty well off from the beginning, thanks to my father's multinational company. But it never crossed my mind that being rich would mean attracting gold diggers. I was already stuck with one. Her habits were getting worse day by day, and she was influencing Harper, too. A time came when Harper started demanding money to buy expensive stuff that kids her age didn't even need.
Can you hear me? It looks like you kind of lagging. I can't really. 哦，看到了，就这样。好的，那我们不然你是到处搞小字是吗？
Obviously, she was picking up Julia's habits. I had no choice but to limit both of their expenses. I should have done it sooner, but I was going soft on Harper. But things were getting out of control, and I just couldn't sit by and watch my daughter become like my wife. When I refused to give them extra expenses and put a limit to the things they could buy, they started throwing tantrums. It was expected. Still, I had no idea that Julia was this immature. Just because things weren't going her way any longer, she started to find other ways to get back at me. She started turning Harper against me, saying things like I was a terrible dad who didn't care for his family, and how I loved my money more than my relationship. Now this just gave Julia an opportunity to argue with me daily. Your own family doesn't matter to you, and you keep spending money on others. She accused me once. I ask you for something, you start lecturing me. I just give them the things that they need, I explained. And I don't lecture you, Harper. I still get you whatever you want every once in a while. Now, I can't just let you spend...
竖钩撇，横，竖钩打是可以指 hit。
我说那里有个丁字。
对，我可能这个字没写的很好，对，是个丁字。可以说，比如说打人，对吧？我们可以说打人，还可以打什么呀？
Spend money on expensive things every day. You need to learn to... There you go. Lecturing me again. She intervened, shaking her head. We've had enough of your nonsense, Julia said, pulling Harper to her side. We're practically living in poverty, even though Harper had testified against me too. I was sitting dejected in my living room, thinking of a way to get out. I gave him a smile. It was Harper, but so different from her. I gave him a smile. I'm sorry, he started. I had no idea that having us here would break your family. I didn't want this to happen. That's why I never told you about the things I saw. I turned to him with a frown. Things you saw? I saw Harper stealing money from your room a few times. And also, see this? He extended his phone towards me. There were some photos of Julia roaming around malls with many shopping bags in her hands. There were also photos of her spending time with her friends at expensive restaurants, clubs, and other places. And one thing was in common with these photos. I could see my credit card in her hands. It was true, I never checked my bank balance after I started putting a limit on their expenses, but I had no idea they were doing this behind my... Oh, sue me? Where did you get these photos? I asked Harry. I got them from a friend, Harry informed. His mom was there at all these parties. They all...
那个照进来了。good job。哦 ，good job， 我已经看到了。但是肯定要出来一个。好的。
It all took place recently. I nodded. Thank you, Harry. You helped me a lot. And one more thing.
我想起来，还有我们
Don't blame yourself for what happened. You should have just told me about everything sooner. Never hesitate to tell anything, okay? Harry nodded, and I patted his back with a smile. As I had proof against Julia and Harper, my lawyers easily won the case. I also asked for a divorce, and Julia was asked to pay a huge fine for suing me on an invalid basis. As for Harper, I made sure she wouldn't face any legal consequences. But I also refused to take her back. She needed to spend some time away from the comfortable life at home and learn not to take things for granted again.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Ivan, and I'm a... It was all about show off. Me. To run away before they did something drastic. Aids without putting much effort into studying. Actually, I didn't study at all. And still, I was able to score full marks. The girl replied.
New Buicks and GMCs always cost less at the source. Faulkner Buick.
Hi, my name...
就叫吉祥的吉。
吉祥如意。
哎呀，老师都困了，我这是最后一次在周末给你们上课了，知道吗？最后一次在周末给你们上课了，我明天就要坐飞机回来了，然后我就回到美国来了。好的。
你明天就回来了？
我明天坐飞机了。撇折，撇折横，撇捺横竖横折横。哎 ，sorry my bad， 我写错了啊。这个是对的，但是这个是结。结的话就是看到这里是结果的意思，就是make a fruit。有的时候我们也可以说是结，就是是个 not。结果对 result， 我们也可以说是打个结，对吗？是
I think I almost failed.
考试
结果结交，也就是 make a friend， 还可以说结束，对吗？结束就是 finish。好多啊。好的，我们写一下吧。
考试写完
When I saw
了。
it, it wasn't because I was seeing triplets
等一
for
下，
the
等一下，我
first
一个人
time.
来看啊，我一个人来看。
She stepped towards me. What are you doing at my house? Who gave you the permission to come in here?
近一点，近一点，宝贝儿。
Jess! Her mom exclaimed. Don't be rude to your brother.
再
You
过来一
brought
点。
him
好
here.
棒，写得很好，不知道。
Brother?
大
Jess
家注
snorted.
意啊，这个
Is
一
this
很
some
长
kind
一
of
点，这样
joke?
短一点。
Don't tell me that he's the guy you adopted from the streets. From the
好的，好的，
streets?
会这样，会这样。
I frowned. I come from a family that is well-mannered and decent, unlike you. Sure, she rolled her eyes. If your family's so decent, then why did you drop out of the school, huh? Jess, that's enough. One of the triplets came forward. Don't drag him down for his past or something that he was
我已经
basically
写好了吗？
rejected.
写好给我看一下。可以的 ，good job。庄子，你在吗？你为什么觉得一会儿你在，一会儿你不在呢？庄子我没有。庄子你写吗？你可以在白板上写一下。
By then, I had a lot of problems of my own. So I simply broke up with her, and after that, I had to drop out. And now...
这
But
样就可以，但是
cheated on your mom?
就是这个是
A random student asked me while I was passing through the corridor.
OK。
No, I replied in confusion. But that's what we heard. And also, did your mom run away with your uncle after finding out the truth? Another girl asked. What? But I don't have an uncle, I told her. Who told you these things? Everyone's talking about it. You became pretty popular after you left. We heard about how dysfunctional your...
我们再来读一下，第一个是生，
嗯，
你
你
your family was, and now you resort to gambling in your desperation to earn quick money. The girl replied, wow, what the actual heck? I didn't even have to guess to know who had spread these weird rumors about me. Jess was the only person jobless enough to do such things. I may have started attending school again, but because of the rumors, I've become the center of attention, and not in a good way. When I asked Jess to tell everyone the truth, she refused and just left with a smirk. Of course she was enjoying this. Well then, she had left me going to clean up the mess she had created. I had to turn to her sisters. Whoa! About Kara frowned. Of course he knows us. He's our brother. He practically lives with us. What about his reputation? You tried to question our family? Everyone was taken aback by this revelation, and I simply smiled. You guys know our sister Jess, right? Serena asked. She goes to this school too. You can ask her, Kara asked in confusion. It's nothing, I said quickly. Jess and I had a small disagreement. We'll sort it out. You two. My personal life is none of your business, I replied. Haven't you learned your lesson? Don't poke your nose where it's not needed, or people will lie and take advantage of you, just like Jess. If you're still interested in my life, just go and ask her. Maybe she'll feed you more ridiculous lies that you could use against me. With that, I left. Everything settled down after that. No one ever believed what came out of Jess's mouth. She had become the symbol of lies and gossip at our school.
我们的上课，我只是不想有。
Hi, I'm not.
Why are you like that? Anyway， 小小种子发出小芽，发出小芽是什么意思？发出小芽什么意思？发出小芽什么意思？就是 make a little fault， 对吗？你可以看一下它是不是这个是不是小芽？看到吗？这一块。
Oh yeah.
就是 this part， 看到吗？这些就是芽，对吧？它这时候还是个种子，然后这是土，对吗？它就是长出来这些芽，发出小芽。伸了伸腰，伸了伸腰是什么意思啊？
伸了伸腰，伸鸡。
伸了伸腰是什么意思啊？伸了伸腰什么意思啊？你看的 stretch 对吧？伸腰是 stretch。
I'm Noah, and I'm 20 years old. I'm gonna tell you, parents were bad. This is quite disturbing. After the things they have done, no amount of influence, everything I can.
认出你当什么意思啊？
Extended Stay America exists to care for people who are building a better future for themselves.
Hi there. My name is Ben. Ben, we've been waiting for you. And it's even more left. A giant circular couch. Yes, in the entry themselves had a 1-year-old wondering family member. Bert, and exactly call him grandfather. He got to them first, and is currently making up some fake excuse as to why I'm not there, or about how I'm not getting home, if their names. Kiana gently grabbed my arm and led me over to the couch, but did not just leave her mouth. She only smiled at me and offered no other explanation. She just said, "It'll be wonderful getting to know you." The other women repeated what she said in varying degrees of individualism. I excused myself and stepped outside, making sure to close the door behind me. My main goal was to call 2 people, my mom and my grandfather. I called my grandfather first. He did not even date any of them when setting up. It was my grandfathers for setting up such a ridiculous... We were still sitting where they were, just idly chatting with each other. When When they all gradually spotted me, the talking ceased. I just cleared my throat. I wasn't that used to being around so many women at once. I managed to say, "Hi, my name's Ben, and I look forward to getting to know all of you." I'm not sure how much of that I meant, but...
Roll out little flap.
So, this is Zach, and right now it's like in some kind of little nightmare made by a web of lies. You probably remember that after humiliating myself by hugging Adriana's mom when I thought she was Adriana. And on one hand, yes, I'm marrying my crush, and all my daydreams will be real. On the other hand, literally, what the heck? What were you even thinking? I don't know, Adriana exclaimed. I panicked. I just want them to like you. They're going to let me a whole lot less when they find out we're lying to them, I said, wishing I'd never woken up that morning, or at least stayed on bed last night. I know, Adriana grimaced and chewed on her
老
finger.
师，你意思就是说，它花长出来的时候，然后呢，
No.
花里面还会有种子。
Elliot was the sweetest little baby. 3 months after Elliot was born, he started developing.
是
Backed away,
进来
shaking
了
my
刚
head.
才。
This is a terrible idea. Zach? Adriana smiled coyly, wrapped her arms around my shoulders. You just play along for a little bit and go home. Tell them it's fun. Sometime the door wiggled her eye. What can you do about it? This breakfast. And swallowed a mouthful. She looked impressed. Very patient. Yeah. You know, well, don't rush him, Joe. Apparently the place where I began to try and make something that turned into something wrong. Would it be so comfortable to have you followed hard? Well, I'll go tell Adriana the good news. About the wedding. Sophia grinned. I was fairly certain she knew we weren't telling the truth, and was loving every minute of it. Yeah, of course. We just tell them. She bit her lip. Or could we say there's an emergency and we have to leave? No. I took a breath. No, let's just tell them it's all a really bad joke and apologize. Then your dad will have me hunted down by your uncles, and you know what? Maybe we should just have an emergency and go home. See? It's the best option. Adriana kissed my cheek and grinned. I sighed. It's better now than later. You're right, I know, she admitted. Okay, I'll tell them it was all my idea. I resisted pointing out that it had, in fact, been I tried to tell you something and you just hormones, Sophia chipped in. Zach and I aren't getting married. Oh, this again. Martha rolled her eyes and walked towards the kitchen. Just like with Michael, hold me. You should be thinking about my grandbaby. I think what Adriana is trying to tell you is that there was a mix-up this morning, I said, seeing if I could smooth things over. We thought that shot me a grateful look. What do you mean? Martha kids. Not for a little while anyway. And over to her while anyway. Gasped. I mean, there's no kids. Not for a little while anyway. Martha ran over to her husband, clutching her hands to her chest. It's not the end of the world, Mom. Adriana tried to comfort her. I'm sure in the future maybe things will change, but not for right now. Zach and I, we're happy as we are right now. Martha began to cry as Joe comforted her, and I had no idea what to do with myself. Maybe we should go out for a walk or something, said. It was pretty bad, I replied. I think your dad is going to hunt me down or something. She laughed. He's a big softy. I didn't agree, but being away from the house for an hour seemed like a good idea, but at all. Hi, what is Mom up to now? Chi declared. But there can still be a wedding, she declared. What? Adriana and I stared at each other. I phoned Kenneth. He said he can make the paperwork happen, Joe announced, emerging from his study. Oh, and here's the happy couple. You just need to sign a few documents and it will all be ready.
Oh, this sucks. I'll end the live stream right here. Oh man, why can't I find a good pet? I got like good pets already. So am I gonna do more excuses? Well, he's right here, AFK Bone Bubbles, and I'm going to end the live stream right over here. Probably tomorrow or today. I might do another one. Get 3KX hatches. If you see that, please like and subscribe. I will see you guys later.